Great Outdoors is sponsored by Par Lumber. Go where the builders go.
It's been said many times the worst day of fishing is better than the best day of working. That's true for Josh Pardee of Bend, who seemingly fishes Central Oregon almost daily. In this week's Great Outdoors, brought to you by Par Lumber, Brian Jennings caught up with Josh on the Deschutes River.
Josh grew up in Bend, and like many young boys, he would pester his dad to always go fishing. When he became a teenager, he would hit up his buddies to fish. And now as an adult, he's still a kid at heart when it comes to fishing.
So instead of video games, you were out fishing?
That's right. I mean, we took part in our video games, but I can definitely say that I own a lot of fishing video games.
If you fish, chances are you may have run into Josh on one of our rivers, lakes, or reservoirs. When you get skunked, he's the guy with all the fish.
We have an extreme abundance of bass for sure. We have a lot of brown trout at the moment. They are a non-native species, which Oregon Department of Fish and Wildlife is definitely making some changes with the brown trout, but they're in high population. Our rainbow trout, it definitely varies. Here in the Deschutes River, they're pretty slim. Other places like Prineville Reservoir, South Twin, a lot of natives. You're allowed to keep the natives because they're so thick. But overall, we have an amazing fishery in Central Oregon.
Pardee is part of a group of 12 team members who contribute to a popular social media site he's formed.
Central Oregon Fishing Report started in 2014. Me and my best friend, Nathan Hayes, were born and raised locals, and we've always fished these local water bodies. We've been nuts about it since we were little children. Being born and raised next door neighbors, we always did it together. And as we succeeded in it, we just kind of wanted to build a community and build an awareness of what we have to offer in waterways, species, how to find them, and just get people out in this beautiful backcountry that we call home.
And so you can see their fishing reports on their website, Facebook, and Instagram. As a steward of the river, he notes changes coming to the Deschutes, where regulations allow for year-round fishing for brown trout.
And it definitely seems like in this section that we're at currently, from Benham Falls downstream to Lake Billy Chinook, we're gonna start to see the brown population definitely diminish. They're looking to try and wheedle them out, I suppose, as we return salmonoid and steelhead species back to Central Oregon.
Mm-hmm. Is the brown trout compatible with the salmon?
No. You kind of gotta choose one or the other for sure. As we know from our Wickiup Reservoir fishery, brown trout can get upwards in 25, 30 pounds. If you've ever caught a brown even in the 12-inch range, they got some pretty serious teeth. So once they start to become that large of a predator, it's not really good for the other fish around it. So from what I understand, the Oregon Department of Fish and Wildlife, upstream to Benham Falls, they'd like to see the salmonoid be the dominant species in the Deschutes River.
Is that a good move in your viewpoint?
I think it's a wonderful move. Being a born and raised local, I've lived here many years, and I've only heard of this ancient talk of when salmon and steelhead used to run through Drake Park, and I can remember catching large brown trout with my dad at a young age in Drake Park, but I couldn't imagine being able to be on my footbridge in Drake Park and be fishing for a Chinook salmon. That would just be incredible.
So when that happens, you'll be a happy camper.
I will be a happy camper. It's definitely a 10-year plan, so I'm looking at doing it with my teenage boys. But even for them to have that opportunity brings an enormous smile on their face.
One day, Josh hopes to begin a guide service for his following. But for now, he's just happy to be on the water with a pole in his hand, fishing as he does countless times each year. A passion that will last his lifetime in the great outdoors.
Thanks, Brian, for that report. And a special thanks to our Great Outdoors sponsor, Par Lumber, for giving us the time and resources to explore the lakes, rivers, and mountains across our beautiful state every Wednesday night on Central Oregon Daily. We'll be right back.
For more stories that matter to you, watch Central Oregon Daily on KOHD ABC, KBNZ, CBS, and CentralOregonDaily.com.